Now I want to talk about debugging. As you know, when you're writing your code, you don't always write in exactly the right syntax, or sometimes your code doesn't do exactly what you think it should be doing. And in software engineering, we call those bugs. Debugging is the process of finding problems in your code so that you can fix them. There are several ways to do debugging. Let's start with debugging some HTML. Well, first thing we want to do is observe it not working. So if we put in 32 and click on our button, nothing's happening. And I think most of you have probably experienced that when trying to write your temperature converter. You think you have everything in there, you press the button and nothing happens. So how do we go about finding that error? Well, let's take a look at the code. Some text. Okay, and then we have this yard time. And that's our input box right after the label enter this one time. So here's our yard time box. And then right after that it's our button, and it's calling convert yard to meter time. So when we click that button, it's going to call that function. Well, can we find that function somewhere else? So let's highlight that and do a Control F to see if we can find it. Oh, it says there's two instances of convert yard to meter time. So let me jump down to that. Okay, it is a function. It is a function. There are no parameters in the call, and there are no parameters expected. Okay, so yard time, we do a get element ID from the yard time object. Well, we have a yard time object, but let's add an alert and see what's in that yard time object. Let's try that. I'm going to refresh my screen. I'm going to click on convert to meters. Oh, it's not even popping up the alert. So there's something going on that's preventing the alert from occurring. Well, let's take a look at our debugger. Chrome has a debugger, and if you press Control-Shift-I, or the other way to do it is to right-click and say Inspect. Okay, oh, it says I have 5 errors. Uncaught type error. Cannot set the property of inner HTML of null. I have that several times that I can't set that property. Well, this doesn't explain why I didn't get this alert. That's calling inner HTML here. Maybe I didn't actually get it saved. Let me try save all. Reload it. Okay, there we go. It says we have object HTML input element. Well, let's see. Well, that's right. That's a DOM object. To actually get the value, we remember we have to do dot value to get the value from the object. So let's save that and refresh. Now when we convert, okay, so we're getting our 32, and that is our 32. Okay, so we know we're getting the input number, and that's not a problem. Well, okay, well, let's look at this meter time object. Okay, I'll refresh it. Put 32 in again. Yeah, I got my 32. Oh, no. My meter time object is null. Oh, so this code is not working. So I'm going to take a look at it and see if I spelled the method right. Get element by ID with capital E, capital B, and capital I. That all looks okay. It's the same as this one, and that one didn't get null. Okay, well, let's look at the name of the ID. Meter time, and oh, this one has a capital T, and this one has lowercase t, and so I need to make sure they match. Let me try to change that so they match. Let me refresh it. I got my 32. Oh, now I do have my object. And I'm getting the answer. And we don't have any errors anymore. Now, do you remember what that error was? It said it couldn't do inner HTML of null. Well, look at this. Here's where we're using the inner HTML. And it was trying to set it on meter time object. But we just fixed the problem where meter time object wasn't getting the DOM object because we had an error with the spelling of the meter time. They didn't match. And so now that we fixed that, the meter time object is being returned and we are setting the value. So you'll be using a combination of alerts to show us what we're looking at, and the debugger, we were able to quickly find the problem and fix it. Let's check another one just to make sure it works.